There are people committing internet fraud, stealing from old women, selling their bodies, and even risking jail time just to feel wealthy. Some are even going as far as doing money rituals, taking lives just to touch what they think is financial freedom. Meanwhile, you are sitting on an idea that God gave you 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, but then you're still calling it just a dream. You think you're broke, but what you really are is disobedient. I know that is a hard word, but I'm saying it with love, that because I have been there. And that is why I have created this podcast, Certainly Worthy, not just to talk about money, but to expose why so many of us are still struggling, while the keys to our financial freedom are locked inside the instructions that God has already given us. Hey you, yes you, I want to talk to you for a few minutes about something I know deep in my bones, and that is the fact that you are already wealthy. I know that sounds weird, like I don't even have the money, I don't have the cash, but just wait with me for a second. So you are already wealthy, but not in a cute, motivational, hashtag abundance way, but I mean it for real. I mean it biblically, practically, and personally. You see, the reason I created this podcast, Certainly Worthy, was not just to talk about money. It was because I got tired. I got tired of seeing people struggling. People who are gifted, talented, God-fearing, purpose-filled, and still struggling to pay bills, struggling to believe in themselves, struggling to hold on to the dreams that God has given them, because the world has convinced them that if it's not paying yet, then it's not worth it. More so, I believe that in this world that is filled with so much noise, one of the best ways to actually pull people out of poverty and crush every kind of poverty is to start pouring belief back into people, because wealth starts with them and in their minds, not out there. So when I first started this podcast, it was initially called Shelved Dreams. And that name was actually very personal for me, because I had been shelving a lot of my dreams. The ideas that God had given me, I kept putting a lot of them off. I would procrastinate, get scared, overthink about it, and then do nothing. Then one day I felt this nudge in my spirit that, you have to change the name to Certainly Worthy. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, certainly what? Right, because I didn't even believe that word myself until I was led to read a part in the Bible, and it really made a lot of sense to me. Because at the point I was still in a place where I felt like I was still trying to figure things out myself. Right, I'm not where I want to be yet financially. I'm on my way there. So why would I start something with such a bold name, like Certainly Worthy? Like, who born you? And I'll never forget, in the midst of my questioning, I will never forget what I sensed the Holy Spirit say back to me in that space. It was like, do you know how many ideas that I have given you that you didn't act upon, including this podcast? Do you know how many? And guys, when I tell you, so there was a time my friends were calling me ideas junkie, because I just had so many ideas in the movie space, in different areas, but I was not acting on them. And you see, that realization, that truth, it really wrecked me, because I knew that it was true. It was true. And I also knew that many of you, just like me, are sitting on ideas. You're sitting on business ideas, content, books, coaching programs, products, solutions that could change lives and change an entire generation. And you're not realizing that those are your God-given seeds of wealth. Like, those are your divine tips for true financial security and financial freedom. But because it's not packaged like the world expects, because it doesn't look like someone else's version of success, then you disregard it. And let's be real, some of us have even gotten tired. We've started looking around like, okay, well, maybe I need to do what everybody else is doing just to get ahead. You're not even listening to yourself. You're not questioning yourself. What do I like? What do I want? What do I really want to do? What was I sent to do on this earth? And before you know it, everybody is running every other person's race. We're all doing unethical things, shady things, manipulative things, all in the name of chasing money. But the world's definition of wealth is not the final word, okay? Because the word of God says something else. Deuteronomy 8:18, is the anchor Bible verse for this podcast. And it says that you will remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth. Now, let's break that down a little bit. You see, it does not say that God gives you wealth, like He gives you a lot of money, or you just open up the door of your house one day and you find money there. It says that He gives you the power to get it, meaning He gives you the seeds You just have to plant it, water it, and have some patience. Let it grow. He says that it gives you the power to get wealth, which means you already had the power. Like, it's not in your next year's promotion. It's not in a perfect business plan. It's not in your next job. It's not in the next money you're able to raise. It's already in you. And that word gives, again, is such a huge realization for me. When I saw this, the word gives, it means that is present continuous. It means if you didn't catch it last year, the power is still there today. You can still catch it this year. So the giving never stopped. The power does not expire. You just need to learn how to activate it. And that is what certainly what it is about. You see, it's not just a podcast about money. Of course, we're going to be talking a lot about that, or even just financial strategy. Of course, we'll be talking about that as well. But it's about identity. It's about alignment. It's about stewardship. Because most people are stuck, not because they don't have money or because they don't know what to do or something. The reason why a lot of people are still struggling right now, why a lot of people are broke right now, is number one, they are bought into the wrong definition of wealth. They are bought into the wrong definition of wealth in the sense that we see the vacations, the money, the Instagram highlight reel of every other person, and we're like, oh my goodness, that is wealth. Forgetting that wealth actually starts in the person. It's in you already. It's in the power that you have been given. We're bought into the wrong definition of wealth. If it's not shiny, then it's not wealth. If it's not, wealth is more about the mind, and the money and the vacations and all those things, they are the rewards that people get for bringing value into the world. That's just what it is. But it didn't start from there. Because when you look at all the things that we have, that we use right now, that is making some other people wealthy and rich and giving them more money, like, it's just like how some people say, they say that God did not give us chairs, He gave us trees. But someone had to put two and two together and know that, oh, this can make furniture, this can make papers, this can make this can make so many things. So it gives us the power, which is the idea, this seed in our mind. But a lot of people are bought into the wrong definition of wealth. So we're running every other person's race. We're not looking at, okay, God, what have you given me? And how can I use it in the world? How can I use it to bring more value into the world? Then the second reason is a lot of people, they don't even know the power that they have here, especially people in the Christian body. And that is one thing that really makes me feel a certain type of way. You know, they don't know their power. For an example, I know from a very young age that I just love to communicate. I love to talk. In fact, I remember clearly that there was a time my dad asked me what I wanted to be, and I knew I told him I wanted to be a journalist. And for a long time, I was kind of circling and rounding around that dream, but I never got to fully activate it. I never got to own it. So a lot of people, they don't know, or they know, but for most people, they don't even know the power that they have. They don't know the thing that they're supposed to do. While some people, they know it, but they're struggling to own it. Just like in my own case, for a very long time, I struggled to own the power that I have to create wealth in my life. So if you don't know it, how can you own it? Talk less of using it. The third reason why a lot of people are still struggling is they never learned how to use financial tools, strategies, and resources and truths that are there to help them to make their wealth sustainable. I work in financial services industry and I see this all the time. People leaking money. A lot of people feel like, oh, they are broke just because life has happened to them. But a lot of people are bleeding money unnecessarily just because they haven't learned the right strategies, how to budget the right way, how to save the right way, how to invest the right way, how to preserve your wealth, how to protect your income, and how to avoid unnecessary losses. So that's the third reason why a lot of people are broke and still struggling financially. And these things are very deep in my heart, and they are things that I really hope and pray that we are all able to achieve and break together on this channel. So the goal of what we're going to be doing, and by the way, if you're liking this conversation, this content, make sure you like it, share, and subscribe. So here's what we're going to be doing on this podcast. We are here to crush 3 kinds of poverty. I know a lot of people just see poverty as, oh, there's no water, there's no food. You know all those pictures that they post from Africa of African children that are slim, tiny, because they are malnourished and all that. That is what we see as poverty. No food, no. Of course, that is a part of it. But poverty is actually deeper, is way deeper than that. So the very first kind of poverty that we're going to be crushing here is the poverty of the mind. So this is prevalent, and this is the one that messes up the lives of people the most. You see all those limiting beliefs, all those mindsets telling you you're not enough, you're too late, you're too old, you don't qualify, you'll never be enough because of things that have happened in the past. And all these many things. You see, all those things, they are all poverty of the mind. And this does not just affect, IFA is the most prevalent one. It affects everybody, both the rich and the poor, like in resources. That's the first poverty we are hoping to be able to crush on this podcast. So you know that you are enough. You don't need anything else. You are enough. You just have to break all those things, those limiting beliefs, all this mindset that does not serve you and that won't help you to achieve that what you were sent to achieve on it. Then the second kind of poverty we'll be breaking away from is the poverty of resources, because you do have something, and with the right mindset and tools, you can multiply and protect it. But a lot of people have been so deceived that, oh, you don't have money, you don't have food, you don't have this. We struggle with actually seeing the light that is already existed inside of us just because of all those things. Listen, everything that you lack right now are just contributing factors. This I borrowed from Myron Golden. There's a difference between the contributing factors of your life and the determining factors of your life. The determining factors, they are your mindsets. They are like the things that you have up here and here in your heart. Your emotions, those are your determining factors. It's not about where you were born. It's about who you are at your core. Who you are as a person, what you want, what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, the changes you want to see in the world. That is what makes up who you are. Not just about the things that you lack right now, the water, the food, there are so many people that we know that actually rose from poverty and are be able to create great lives for themselves. Now, the third kind of poverty we're looking to crush is the poverty of resourcefulness, because I believe that it's not always about more. It's about using what you already have in much more better ways. Okay. So I was listening to Tony Robbins and he said that resourcefulness is the greatest resource. And the greatest resource every single one of us can own right now is our emotions. And that means that how do you feel about what you've set out to achieve? Because that emotion is what will actually drive you to do that thing and make the best of everything that you have to achieve that thing that you're looking to do. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about faith and finance, purpose and planning, power and protection. We're going to be having real conversations with real people who are building from scratch, building their ideas. Like there are some businesses that you see, we're like, how do you think that this could have become a business that will be making you so much money? So we'll be talking to people like that so we can see that, listen, wealth does not start from out there. It starts from in here. We're also going to be talking to people who are currently using financial tools to grow their wealth, to expand their wealth, to fund their dreams the right way, and choosing stewardship over status. And I'll be honest with you, okay? We are not perfect over here. I am not perfect. But what I am certain about is that we are certainly called, every single one of us, we are certainly equipped and certainly well. And so if that eats you in your spirit, make sure you stick around, subscribe, listen in, and make sure you share this with someone you know who is sitting on gold and calling it just an idea. Because I believe that the next generation of world builders are not just sitting in boardrooms. Okay, they are sitting in their bedrooms praying for clarity. They are sitting at desks, scribbling their ideas, journaling their ideas, sitting on dreams that they haven't dared to believe in yet. But you see, this is your wake-up call that you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from power. And it's time to act like it. And so with that, you are welcome to Certainly Worthy Podcast with Rennie. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.